I often get asked by younger readers what I would advise if you want to be a writer. This is the way I did it, so that's the only advice I can give. You've got to read as much as you possibly can, because that's the best way to recognise good writing and to learn what makes bad writing, and those are very good things. You probably go through a phase where you imitate your favourite writers. That's perfectly okay. That's another learning process. You resign yourself to writing lots and lots of rubbish. You just got to write that out of your system, and sooner or later you'll hit what you know you really should be doing and what is your genre. And perseverance. You've got to persevere, because it's a career with a lot of knockbacks, but the rewards are huge. I don't mean in the sense that if that's what you really want to do, to be able to do it lifelong is the best thing in the world. Very rewarding. But it's not a career for people who are easily discouraged, that's for sure. And to their parents, don't tell them it's unrealistic. Never say that. Because even if they're not published, writing is the passion of my life, so it's an important thing to do. I remember once, and it was like I'm going to call it a flash of clairvoyance now. Obviously, if it hadn't come true, it would just be some random crazy thought I'd had. But I do remember one day, writing Philosopher's Stone, I was walking away from the cafe where I'd been working.
Philosopher's Stone, which became Sorcerer's Stone.
Which became Sorcerer's Stone, exactly. So that's the first novel. And I had this moment where I suddenly thought, it was like another voice speaking to me, and the voice said, the difficult thing's going to be to get published. If it's published, it will be huge.
Wow.
And that is exactly what it was.
So there was some hint that the voice had said to you...
Well, the thing is, you've got to believe, haven't you?
Yes.
You know, I was not the world's most secure person. I wasn't someone with an enormous amount of... In fact, I'd say I was someone with not much self-belief at all. And yet in this one thing in my life, I believed. That was the one thing in my life. I felt I can tell a story.
I was on the train from Manchester to London, and it just came.
Had something like that ever happened to you before?
Yes, truthfully. I mean, other ideas had just come to me, because I think if you're a writer and that's what you spend a huge amount of time doing, ideas do come to you. But nothing had ever come so with such a... I thought, God, I'd love to write that. And when I got off the train, I went straight home and I started writing.
One of the amazing and wonderful things about literature, as about film and music, is it's utterly subjective. So
it's somebody's
that's
opinion.
the point of it. You know, that's the point. Of course, you move in that world. If you expect to just stand under a shower of perpetual praise, there's something wrong with you.
Exactly right.
That, you know, you will get criticism. I knew that going in. And the funny thing is, I'm not a particularly... I was never a very confident person. In there are areas in my life in which I'm very thin-skinned. But not in this area. In this area, I think it's right and proper. I should be criticised, and that's
and can
literature.
You learn?
There's always trepidation. I mean, I think that people might be surprised to know that I felt trepidation every time I produced a Potter book. You know, the weight of expectation there was I won't say crushing. It was extraordinary and wonderful to have that weight of expectation.
You were
but
competing
at times,
with yourself.
Yeah, and with the expectations, latterly, of millions of fans, all of whom were very invested in the story and wanted to see what they wanted to see. And I knew where I was going, and I had to put on mental blinkers a lot and just think, I know where I'm going, I must not be influenced by this.